Hello everyone, this is New Hop Company, and today is the long-awaited video with our trader Ivan. Ivan,
Yes, good day to everyone.
today we'll ask the most popular and frequently asked questions regarding the robot and its various settings. Most likely this video will be broken down into a series of several different parts and released in that format, because you simply can't explain everything all at once. It's just not possible. Now you'll see a screen recording. We've actually rented a VPS for this. Let's imagine I'm a client who has just received the robot. So what exactly are the next steps I need to take? First is renting a VPS. There will be a separate video, or there is one already. You can watch it. The client receives the trading robot. As you can clearly see, NewHop Pro is currently on the server. And now, while I am...
Yeah. Hey, what's so funny? It's totally fine. Don't even bother to cut it out. The very first thing we need to do is install RARLab. I mean, we used to provide it, and we still occasionally do, in the standard zip format. The zip format is great because it allows for free access without needing any additional software, so you can very easily unpack the archive. Well, it looks like Sergei downloaded the archive from our directory, which is in RR format. So we just need to install the WinRAR program and extract the files inside. I don't think there'll be any kind of problems or issues. It literally takes about 10 seconds or so.
Yes, that's right. As you can see, we've already downloaded and installed it. Everything is basically working perfectly. It launched for us right away. Okay, let's continue. Unpacking the robot. We see our folder, drag it to the desktop.
Yes.
First of all, most likely you can also do all of this by following the instructions. We are currently updating the manual and it will be on the website soon. It will be constantly updated on the website, making it easier for us to edit and for you to always see the latest version, moving away from PDF files. So everything new and fresh will be on our site, including video breakdowns for each point.
Yes, that is extremely helpful and convenient because, as our practical experience has clearly shown us, when we publish the video and the manual at the same time as two separate resources, and the video isn't divided into sections for each part, people still end up asking a lot of questions. So the main issue isn't a lack of information, but rather that the information simply needs to be actively searched for, and that was creating a bit of an inconvenience.
Okay, the robot is now unpacked, and we are launching the main NewHop Pro launcher with our official logo. It immediately asks us to download a runtime application, some .NET driver.
2 drivers, yes.
All right, then we click download.
That is exactly right. We do not include specific software drivers with the robot simply because those drivers get updated so often. These are standard .NET drivers, and brand new updates are released quite periodically. So, to ensure the client doesn't have to download new updates separately, we simply request the most recent version available from the official Microsoft Update service. And consequently, after installing these 2 drivers, you can start your professional work immediately. So now we've already installed the first one, as you can see. Now we are closing down this current window and relaunching the robot control program once again. It shows us the same message one more time. And we download the second driver for a second time, even though visually it looks like we've only downloaded 1 driver. Yes, this is a different one.
Yes, it is a totally different one.
Check the box, yeah.
The browser just complained for some reason that it found something like a virus, even though it's the official Microsoft site.
Yeah.
But that is actually Edge.
That's a whole other story.
All right, so we've downloaded 2 drivers, and now we're launching the program for the 3rd time. Okay, we see it.
And we'll do it a 4th time.
That looks good. We see the logo. Okay, it's asking for both an email and password.
Yes, it is.
Enter it. I don't remember anything.
So you actually think I do?
Now Ivan will recall the details.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Or if only I could actually remember them.
In most cases, clients will receive their data via an email or in a text message whenever we are communicating via Telegram. As a general rule, we always create a group in Telegram where Ivan, myself, and the clients are added. In that group, we exchange all the information. The latest files, logins, and passwords are always kept right there. And also sometimes at the client's request, we can send all of this to their email And from the email, so it stays right there and will always be remembered, well, if anything, it can always be easily recovered. Okay, so now we have already logged in. The installation of the latest robot version has started. Our robot updates automatically every time it's launched, so there's no need to message us asking about updates. The update is automatic when the system starts, specifically after entering the login and password. Here we see the program starting up.
It's restarting again. Now, you just need to enter your login and password, then simply click OK for the auto update. So, all you really have to do if you've heard about or think you want to check if there's a new update available is just restart the robot. It automatically connects to our secure database and requests the latest version. Whenever the version happens to change, it will automatically download the update and restart. We were planning to do that, but so far we are not quite there yet. It remains unclear if it is truly necessary, this specific changelog file. Since most of the changes we implement are not particularly critical or urgent, they're relatively minor adjustments, whereas more global changes, we post them on our Telegram channel, so any users who might be interested in learning more about any new updates that have come out can just go to the Telegram group and read through all the detailed information provided there.
Look, I've decided to install the MetaTrader 5 trading platform terminal right now to connect to a real account and link it to the terminal. Version 5 is definitely the easiest one to download. It's completely free and easily available directly from MetaQuotes. Well, now, we'll just go ahead and pick any account from the real ones that we currently have available. Our colleague Ivan will share this specific trading account with us, and then we'll start the process of setting up the robot and connecting it properly. Okay, we're back. We were trying to find the password for MetaTrader 5, but it turns out the account was deleted for some reason, so we couldn't connect. Ivan explained why it might have been deleted.
This situation typically occurs because when we trade on an account and then successfully withdraw your earned profits, after a while, the broker might start to become somewhat concerned about the activity, so to speak. Or they might not like your specific trading style, and they can permanently block both your trading account and your entire profile. So apparently, after about a full month has passed, these specific accounts were suddenly blocked. It also happens for another common reason. When they eventually run out of available free space on their primary servers, they try to archive or permanently delete all the bad or inactive old accounts to save room.
So we downloaded the 4th version. You can download it very quickly from FBS for free without registering. We connected to the account, and this account is fully active and working. I'll pull it up now and show you.
An important note, they don't talk about this anywhere at all. I mean, it's simple information, but at the same time, it's as if it's not public. You can use any MetaTrader. That is, MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. You don't have to download it from the broker you trade with, so if you trade on Forex, you don't need to go there. And download the Forex MetaTrader specifically. If you already have a MetaTrader 4 terminal, you just need to know the server name. You just type in the server name and add it. We also have a few brand new clients who, for one reason or another, whenever you mention a broker, consistently ask to have the terminal sent directly to them or ask where to download it. And I find that I have to explain the situation over and over again.
All right then, back to setting up the robot.
Yes.
We have working data now. We can see that trading is happening here. All right, Ivan, we've successfully opened up the robot.
Yes.
What is the very first essential step I should take to properly connect the system, besides opening up the detailed instruction manual and carefully rereading it several times to ensure I haven't missed anything?
Well, the simplest thing. Let's add the fast quote sources. One of the primary factors that sets us apart from all of our competitors in the industry is that we offer our clients 5 fast quote sources. The most important thing is that we have 2 sources in London, 2 sources of fast quotes. Right here in New York City, we used to have the Chicago Exchange too, but we decided to drop it because it consistently lags quite a bit behind the New York ones. So it's just not practical anymore. And we have another source located in Tokyo. That's where our cryptocurrencies are distributed. It's the fastest source there. For this, let's add crypto. Well, let's not do crypto. Since our main server is located in New York, let's incorporate some lightning fast quotes directly from the New York area. Go ahead and right-click on the left side, then select the Add option. And now pick the item you want from the menu. There is a full list right at the bottom. We'll select New York Tier 1, Simply click on the field and enter any name you like. For your own convenience, we have made the name field completely flexible to suit your personal preferences, allowing you to give specific connections your very own unique and recognizable custom names to help you manage your list more effectively. Now click the checkbox on the left. And if the connection is fully active and everything is working fine, it will turn green. As a result of this, we can see in the log below that a connection has been established. Next, if we look over at the right side, we see the ping to the source. Right? And a common question people ask because they don't understand. Beyond that, there is also a fifth column marked with the letter T. It's an abbreviation for the word trade. What this essentially means is, can this specific connection be traded or not? If there is a cross there, it clearly indicates that this particular source can be used for trading. However, if our robot doesn't recognize it as being tradable, like a fast quote source for example, then it will simply show up as empty. So that's a quick and helpful overview of fast quotes. This reliable data source is enough for us to start trading. Now, what are our next steps? We really need to add a new broker. Simply right-click once more, navigate to the Add option, and then from the drop-down list, select MetaTrader 4, also known as MT4, since it is the version that is much more familiar to everyone here. Next, several new fields appear that need to be filled in. Login and password, we know those, so we can fill them in together. Now let's go ahead and type every one of them in right here.
Also, I would like to take this opportunity today to share some important information regarding our fast quote sources. One of the most frequent questions we receive, and certainly one of the most common ones, is about availability. Guys, I have to be clear. No, we simply do not offer the option to sell these fast quotes separately at this time. In other words, we cannot sell the quotes on their own. The only way is as a package. The entire trading system comes as a whole, so nothing is sold separately. It's as is, everything only as a complete set.
Yes.
We don't set it up separately and we don't give it away for free.
Why are we doing this? We have two very important restrictions that we must follow. Well, it is actually our professional obligation. First, we absolutely cannot distribute any quotes to third parties. This would be a direct violation of our formal agreement with the banks. Currently, we have two major Tier 1 banks connected directly in New York. We have signed a confidentiality agreement. That is, we can please use these specific quotes privately for your own personal purposes. And by distributing them to you, we don't provide or give any further access to them. Accordingly, this limits us in terms of future access. That's the first thing. And second, we don't mention the names. No need to write and ask us which source we have connected. This is private information. To reach the present stage of development of fast sources, more than 6 years were spent on research. Searching. We went through over 300 distinct and varied quote sources and eventually settled on these specific ones through a rigorous process of trial and error. It has been an incredibly huge and truly titanic effort for us, and we deeply value this proprietary information, so we don't share it. So let's move on and continue with the rest of our presentation.
Our setup, so we've entered the login and password for the terminal.
Yes, login and password entered. Now we need to fill in the remaining 3 fields on this form. The very first field is for the name. We recommend writing a short name, but ensure it is clear enough so you understand exactly which broker it is. So, for a quick example, we have IC markets right now, right? You can just write IC here, for example. Well, to be clear, I'm speaking figuratively. Let's move on to the next step. Now we need to fill in IP and port. This is the specific access for the primary remote server we will be contacting at the central broker location. Accordingly, we now have 2 methods. We're explaining the most straightforward and simplest method because where you'll be copying and transferring all of your files, the program, our robot automatically scans for the minimum ping and then connects to the server. So it's convenient, but not always practical because some brokers might have the server located in both London and New York, but the fastest one, where execution happens, and the main one is in New York, so we need to specify a specific IP. For this, to start this process, we currently need to have MetaTrader 4 running with the active trading account that we will be connecting to. Now, move your cursor down to the bottom panel, right-click on it, and select the Task Manager from the menu. Once that is open, we will be able to look through the details, and through that, we can easily see the specific IP address for the connection.
Task Manager.
Task Manager.
Uh-huh.
To proceed, go ahead and select the Task Manager option.
Uh-huh.
Next, simply click on the second tab, Performance, located down at the very bottom, right here.
Resource Monitor.
Yes.
So it displays information for each one on its own.
We can close this window. It's no longer needed.
Go
to Network again, and bottom TCP.
Connections.
Yes. Now find terminal 64. You can apply a search filter, and it'll display the terminal right at the top.
There they are, 2 of them.
That is correct. Yes, there are 2 different display options available. If it's just terminal, then it is specifically for MetaTrader 4. If it's terminal 64, it's for MetaTrader 5. There are 2 fields that are very important to us. The first field is the IP address, and the second one is the port number. Please note that not all brokers use port 443, so you can expand that range if needed. And the only minor issue is that you can't copy it, so you will have to type it out manually. So first we enter the port and the IP address. Port 185.23.112.
23.112.
23.112, yes, the port for IC is 443.
443. Okay, we filled in the IP, port, username, and password.
And then there is the name.
Name.
For some reason, a few of our clients have an issue. They reach out to us and ask, what should we put there? Both in the manual and in person, we always say it's just a name for convenience.
Right.
That's it. Click OK. And now let's check if we filled everything in correctly.
Okay, the cross is lit up.
Nothing is lit up. The cross is there because it knows MetaTrader 4 is available for trading. Now we click right here. And when it changes to a solid green color, it means the connection is successfully active. If it shows red, you'll see an explanation of what went wrong in the detailed log below, meaning either there's no server response or the login and password are incorrect. That's all. This data is already enough to start trading. Yes, now.
So we finished with the setup and broker connection, right? That's it.
Yes, absolutely, indeed.
First, we quickly connected a fast quote source, and second, we connected our trading account.
Exactly.
Essentially, at this stage, the terminal can be closed and will not be used anymore.
Well, the terminal can be used to configure and select your specific trading settings. We'll talk about that in a completely separate video later on. Now, to ensure everything is clear for you, the left side of the robot shows all the connections and their detailed descriptions of each. And the right side of the robot's field is dedicated specifically for your trading strategies. These right here represent all of the strategies we add and then trade with. The section at the bottom is the log files of all communications and messages specifically concerning trading and connections. See. Next. Right away, I don't know if this is working right now. We have right away, just briefly, we'll get to this. So we don't have to come back to it later. Here, take a look. We have a news button. This is a very important point. We plan to integrate it further later on so that it displays automatically. But here in general, you have settings and dates for the release of news publications. You can choose only the important news for yourself and from which country. You don't need to go to any websites. You don't have to do anything. You can simply filter a specific group of news for yourself. And when you need to, at the start of the trading day, you just go in, open it, check when the news is, what time it'll be, and close it. That's it. It's very convenient because you don't have to go anywhere else. And why is this important? Because not everyone can make money on the news. Because for some, the spread widens and execution changes. You need to keep yourself closely informed about all the latest market events. Now let's proceed directly forward to the process of setting up the trading strategy. We have a high-speed data source, we have a broker, we click the right mouse button, and then we select Add Trading Strategy. Now in the newly opened configuration window,
in the trade broker, we have Profit IC here, which is our broker.
Yes, I'm really curious. Why is it that only this one is highlighted here? Since the automated system filters which connections can be traded and which cannot, it provides you with a specific selection only from the trading ones immediately available for use. So this is for your convenience, so you don't accidentally add a fast source where you should be trading. Next, we manually enter the specific name of the instrument here. We can verify and confirm the instrument name in the broker's terminal. It's absolutely essential to use the exact character casing correctly. Uppercase characters, lowercase characters, and dots, everything must be copied. If you happen to see the name displayed but are not quite sure how to copy it down, or if you find that you can't rewrite it at this moment, or even if you can't see it at all, then simply carefully drag this small symbol over here, click it again, and let's see what the result is. Where is it? Here, new order. And right here in the list, this name is clearly visible. In MetaTrader 5, you can copy the full name completely. In MetaTrader 4, you can simply just
Take a look.
see the full name, yes. So you'll be able to see all the characters completely, and possibly if there's some distortion on the left. Well, that's basically it for that. We've checked the name. For example, we need to add gold. We write in capital letters XAUUSD symbol there. Next, we choose a strategy. Right here is the complete list of strategies. All descriptions for each strategy are in our comprehensive manual. Well, naturally, it'll be in the new manual.
But then again, we can go over them in a bit of detail.
Yes.
Classic, as I understand it, this is classic direct arbitrage. A trade opens in a single second and closes in about 1 second.
Yes.
Impulse. This is a relatively new strategy.
This is a more advanced trading strategy that allows you to trade not by comparing prices, but by monitoring the rapid price change of a fast market source of quotes. Consequently, it's more complex to understand, but at the same time, it's very easy to set up. So those who are already highly experienced traders, our most seasoned clients, they naturally try to use impulse because it allows for cutting out all of the extra market noise. That is to say, when the price jumps back and forth rapidly, or when significant news-driven changes occur and the spread widens considerably, they know that this strategy can be used with a more accurate, high-quality source for entry.
But the trade there is also a single unhedged order, just like in direct, meaning one order opened and closed.
Exactly alike.
A quick question, can it be traded with a holding period?
Yes, it can. Both of these trading strategies, both classic and impulse, provide traders with the distinct opportunity for opening on a signal. Setting, for example, a break-even, that is, when the price goes into profit, we set a break-even. Effectively, we're cutting off the possibility of a loss. And we can hold the trade for 5 to 7 minutes. And at the same time, we can enable a trailing stop where we'll gradually pull up our loss zone, even into the profit zone. So the strategy allows for, but doesn't guarantee, that all trades will be long. All short trades, when the price pulls back, will close at break-even. But the broker won't be able to cancel them because all
Wins.
trades are long ones. It's a great concept, but it doesn't work everywhere because sometimes brokers don't like these short trades. But with liquidity providers, they often have nothing to complain about. So this is a deeper topic. I'm sure we'll discuss it sometime. It's trading via Fix API, where we connect to a liquidity provider, to large liquidity aggregators, and trade with them.
Next up, we have hidden, and then we have smart hidden.
Yes.
So that's already...
Let's do it separately. So first we came up with the hidden strategy. It involves locking counter positions, carefully holding onto them, and gradually shutting one of them down and then slowly opening up a brand new one. But at the same time, we don't close and open two positions simultaneously. This provides us with the ability to mask our trading strategy, and the broker is more relaxed and loyal to it, so to speak. And as for the duration, we can set any time. So if we set the minimum time to 5 minutes, then it's 5 minutes. The robot will skip absolutely all signals. And after 5 minutes, it will start, enter the active phase, and look for signals again. It finds a signal, processes it, and waits for 5 minutes again. There. The next strategy is
Smart hidden. This is an updated version of hidden.
it is an extensively updated and refined version. I truly believe this is one of the most effective and reliable trading strategies of its kind for trading on a single account. This is because it was built with a lot of complex logic that for some reason the vast majority of other competitors, I don't even know what to call them, still don't use anything like it. The point of this strategy is opening and holding a trade, well, in the form of a lock, and then closing it on the second signal, and then opening a new lock, and then closing it again. But at the same time, we don't always keep all of these trades locked up. Instead, we simply alternate, open, close, open, and close. What does this give us? We can use an auto lot. As the deposit grows, we can change the trading volume and thereby increase profitability. There's no need to manually intervene and monitor. The robot will scale it up itself. That's the first point. The second point, there are many more signals than we can keep up with. Well, we have a 3-minute pause. In those 3 minutes, we miss absolutely everything. But with the vast majority of brokers, when hedging with opposite positions, all the free margin remains available, and we can use it again. We go ahead and proceed to configure and set up 3 locks. We have a specific setting. If we choose the Smart Hidden option, we go to a configuration menu, and here you can choose how many locks you want to trade simultaneously. And it turns out that we can trade 3 locks at the same time. So we opened one based on a signal, and we have a 3-minute pause. Another signal appears, and we go ahead and open another lock with a different lot size, close to what we already have. And then a third lock. And after a while, we'll unlock all 3 of them. This strategy allows for the use of an auto lot. By not missing a large number of signals, the profitability on it grows exponentially. So, it's a very cool strategy, but it requires an understanding of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because when using an auto lot, you can just as quickly make money
as you can lose it.
Yes, that is actually the most significant nuance of high-frequency trading.
Why only 3 locks? Can we do more or no?
We can do 5.
A limit? You said it as if we have a limit of 3 locks set.
We really don't recommend having more than 5 there. If you remember, and I'm absolutely sure you do, we used to trade with IC trading and with more than 3 simultaneous locks on one single instrument, and we were trading 2 or 3 instruments in parallel, their server would really start to struggle. And the server, it was constantly complaining because we were sending so many orders at once. And it basically says, whoa, this is just way too much for me right now. Please, let's slow down a bit.
Yeah, and we can actually attach that email now.
Yes.
A recent one. They often send such emails even to this day, and you'll see it somewhere on the side now. They ask to significantly scale back the activity on the trading account, and this is essentially exactly what it looks like, and they write to our clients explicitly instructing them to stop trading.
Yes. This is an automated email. This is being triggered right now because there is a very heavy load on their servers. To manage this sudden surge in traffic, they kindly ask for your patience for a moment. To begin with, the primary reason is for us to reduce the load. If we don't address this after a day, 2, or even 3 with a very high volume of trades, they might block our account until we can confirm that we won't do it anymore. It is simply due to the high number of trades, so there is nothing criminal about it, but they are just protecting themselves from the risk. Next, what are our upcoming strategies and future plans?
Next, we have 2 legs.
Take a look at 2 legs. Go ahead and click on 2 legs. This is one strategy, and it looks like this. Then we'll navigate over to the special tab.
Strategies?
Strategies, yes. And here we have...
Second broker.
Yes, right here at the bottom.
There are 4 more strategies.
So essentially what we have is 4 different strategies within one single section.
Right.
There's just no point in listing them all out like competitors do, bragging about having so many strategies to seem important.
I understand.
In this section, we are going to explore 4 very specific strategies that essentially cover almost every possible way to trade between 2 different accounts. What this actually means is that whenever you decide to open a position on one account, you simultaneously open an opposing one on the second account. In the very first version of this approach, you trade on just one account, open it, lock it on the second, and then you keep trading continuously without stopping. I honestly can't say for sure right now exactly which one is which. But the main point is, the very first strategy is basically hidden, while another one is more like a smart hidden approach, meaning you open and close positions, while the other two remaining strategies are again hidden and smart hidden, but they specifically involve using two different brokers. So you are utilizing both the first and the second broker simultaneously. Look for arbitrage, whereas in the first two we only trade with one, using the second just for locking.
Between two brokers, but with a lock on both of them.
Yes, but only one is actively traded, and the signal sources are only searched for on one server.
I've got it.
That's it. There are no other differences. This is a more sophisticated option available.
Correct.
Let's open the next one.
Smart two legs.
Yes, this strategy is significantly more sophisticated. It's like, how should I put it? The absolute highest pinnacle of the... This is a clever and sophisticated hidden trading strategy, and it is specifically engineered to operate across two separate accounts. It is also distinctive and highly versatile in the sense that we can simultaneously trade 3 or 5 locks in parallel and use the built-in auto lot feature.
Right.
So it's the exact same process, but for two separate accounts. It's absolutely perfect if you clearly understand what you're doing. But first, a disclaimer, you can put this in very large bold letters on the video.
That's fine.
Virtually every two-leg trading strategy involves the process of transferring your entire deposit into one of the accounts, so you must closely and continuously monitor both balances. This means that when you open a buy position on one account, you are simultaneously opening a corresponding sell position on the other account. And right now, if you trade gold, we can clearly see how it fluctuates, and it could happen that one account ends up with 7,000 and the other with 1, even if you started with 4 each.
Wait a moment, let me interrupt. Can I swap them around so the one that lost money starts earning?
But how? Do you know which way the market will go? Because I don't.
Essentially, for the one that's currently losing, just use the regular smart hidden system to make a profit, and that's it.
Yes. Well, you're actually giving away the important secrets that we usually share with our clients very gradually. Yes, there is a specific strategy option where two separate accounts are connected. When funds flow into one of the accounts, specifically the one that's already in profit, they earn some extra profit on their own accord. But you withdraw the one that earned a higher amount of profit, and for the one that is currently in an unfavorable negative position, you simply restore it with smart hidden and withdraw the original deposit back. And essentially, the first automated robot has roughly a couple of dozen trades and they pay you out, no questions asked. There's no restrictive locking, while on the second account, you just have a recovery and you take your money.
The deposit, they always give you back your deposit no matter what.
Yeah, so when people try to tell you that arbitrage doesn't work anymore, that it is all impossible to do, or that they don't pay out like they used to, we always laugh about it because there always were and there always will be strategies and ways to earn. It's just a matter of approach. A lot of people are just trying to minimize their losses. They want to just press a button, then press another button to stop trading and withdraw the money. Well, that's hard because where there's high profitability, there's also heavy competition from individuals who either want to stop you from getting that profit or people who will claim their own share, while you might end up with absolutely nothing at all.
That is exactly right. All right then, so that was on the smart two-leg system.
Yes.
About that, right? Martin, we have an interesting Martin strategy.
The Martingale is a comprehensive and unique system. There are basically no comparable alternatives to this strategy available from anyone else.
I'm going to make a short clip and listen. We have Martingale, the know-how of 2026.
Yes, that is exactly right. It is a combination of two distinct strategies. It functions where one robot handles the trades, while the other is a Martingale strategy. This is implemented in a light version, meaning there is a Martingale that opens trades with a small minimum volume and a large step, and it gradually works according to its own specific logic, just like a Martingale. However, whenever a large impulse signal suddenly appears on the chart, we immediately jump into the market, opening a position with an automatically calculated lot size precisely in the direction, any direction of that impulse, and along with it, while making a profit, we close the entire grid. And a new grid appears, and there are minimal questions for us, because the broker opens it, looks and sees Martingale trading there. So what's he going to do to you? Well, yeah, there are sometimes short profitable trades pop up, but overall, with the pluses and minuses, nothing is obvious. And it all looks organic, like a single system. And we worked for a very long time with FP markets. Yes, for a very long time. And everyone who complained that it doesn't work there and they don't pay out profits, we freely withdrew even $10,000 to $15,000 and no one asked us any questions. This specific strategy is still highly relevant. It remains relevant to this very day. We simply don't focus on it much because we have various other ways to earn money besides this one. But there is a certain group of loyal clients who only use this particular method, and they are quite happy because this layer of strategies is rarely used by others. It doesn't cause any irritation from the broker at all because they actually love Martingale and they consistently take their profits.
That's right. This is the Hidden Plus investment strategy.
Hidden Plus is our innovative new trading strategy. It's a concept that is remarkably similar, an analog to the hidden strategy, but we carefully open and close orders in a distinctly different and unique sequence. So it's basically an analog of hidden. It was made specifically for one purpose, so that it could be, traded separately, of course, but also used together with the hidden strategy. When you do that, you can run two different strategies on one instrument, for example, and the robot will get confused.
Yeah, that's right.
And in your log file at the broker, in the trading operations, it'll be a complete mess that's very hard to understand. So this strategy is entirely independent. It's quite similar to hidden, but when using several different strategy variants, the confusion will be absolutely total. On the plus side, usually when we close a trade first in the hidden strategy, this strategy opens a trade on a signal, and at any moment you might have 3 orders open simultaneously, and the broker gets confused by this, often not understanding what's happening because it breaks the logic of direct locking in the form of 2 trades.
Yes.
That's probably all for now. Separately, we can talk about each strategy and its use individually. I mean, it's a huge layer that I'm sure Sergei will cut out anyway, all these strategies into a separate piece.
No, that's not quite right. I'll leave it all in.
It'll just be a huge video.
Let it be a huge video. Everyone will watch it. It'll be interesting.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's move on to the next part now.
So we've added gold.
Yes, indeed.
Initially, our broker was there. Then we added the gold and the strategy.
Yes, now let's move on to our next know-how, fast
feeds. Right.
Yes. This specific block of data, fast feeds, strongly suggests the possibility of the integration of several fast quote sources simultaneously.
Yeah, that's right.
Others do not utilize any tools of that nature. Why? Because they typically tend to only compare quotes, and that is all they do. I mean, they compare one fast source with the broker, the price diverged, oh well, let's enter. Our logic with impulses implies the possibility of connecting several sources and sort of listening to them to see what's happening with each.
Yeah, right.
As a result of this, we have a single input source connected right now. We select it, yes. If you need more options, simply click right over here and you can select a different source.
Yes, but first you had to add it on the left side of the first screen.
Yes, that's exactly right. Here's another key point. We're mentioning it a bit late, but it's very important. Our trading robot allows you to use any fast quote source from your side. If you currently have a fixed API MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, or CTrader, you can seamlessly integrate and connect your own quote source and use it for your trading. So we don't limit you to only using our quotes. I'll tell you more about it. We can make everything very simple. You can add the broker you'll be trading with acts as a fast quote source, and the system will both listen to it and execute the trade. If you suddenly decide to trade between different instruments, that's certainly an available option. But I can say that such cases have happened.
So you can find a fast broker, just connect a demo account to it, set it as the fast one, and take some slow one with a real account and use the fast.
You can both trade using a single source and use it right in the same program. Next, now what are we doing? We have a list that is currently connected in the fast quote sources. So right here there is this fast quote data source features a list of connected instruments that are available for you to use. So you go ahead and find highlight gold. There's an explanation there.
Yes, it is you.
Click it.
Yes, that is correct.
There we go. That is exactly it. Now let's move along to the very next field, it. asks us, is this a reliable and accurate quote source or not?
Yes, that's right.
What exactly does it mean to have a reliable source versus one that is not? In practice, we can utilize any available stream as both a signal source and a protection source.
Yeah, that is exactly right.
For instance, when we go ahead and manually add London to the list, well, okay, not at this exact moment, but if we have a London source, we simply do not check the box for London, for example.
Yeah.
And then if London happens to be faster than New York, the signals from New York will be temporarily frozen and we will simply skip over them.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Why was this done? It happens that one of the sources, for various reasons, the internet, is unstable right now. It might lag. This is like protection to ensure we're trading this specific one as the fast one. If it's faster, then we use it, right? And then right over here, we need to write the impulse. You actually need to write the impulse yourself, or you can simply use the exact same one we write for everyone else. Like, I honestly don't see the dot anywhere.
Yeah, right. It's there, yes.
That brings us to 0.6. Continuing forward from this point, I believe that is likely everything for this page. This tab here is for recording quotes. This means you have the option to choose record the broker, just the high speed one, or both of them together.
Yeah, I think that's right.
All of this information is published in the file with a significant delay. So using these quotes for any of your own purposes is totally impossible. This is like a necessary system for the protection against distribution to third parties.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Next, let's head over to the strategies tab. Oh wait, not strategies, I meant the trading section. Moving on to the settings here. Well, you go ahead and type, and I'll provide the commentary on it. Everything here is pretty quick. It might seem like there are quite a lot of different settings here, but actually...
Here's the first one. And the top section is signal settings.
Yes.
Quotes difference.
Yes, quotes difference is the price gap between quotes.
All right, good.
If we are trading gold against gold, for example, we would set the value to 0.1.
Could you explain to me exactly why you said 0.1?
This parameter takes into account the broker's spread. Essentially, any price movement above the spread is already considered to be in the profit zone. If the fast broker's bid has moved past the current ask price, it indicates that we are already operating in the profit zone while we are trading in the market.
Yeah, right.
And so we specify this target profit zone size in points.
To put it simply, the formula for the quotes difference is the current market price of the instrument plus the spread plus a constant value of 0.1.
That is correct. So if the fast quote source fluctuates by a margin of the spread plus that 0.1, then we can officially consider it to be a valid entry distance.
I see. Tell me, is this 0.1 setting considered the standard for most people out there, or does it vary for everyone? Or can people safely start with 0.1?
It's individual. Only two factors are considered. First of all, in principle, when looking at the current gold market conditions, you can set this value to 0.1, which represents 1/10. But you must keep in mind that if you have a commission fee, you really need to factor in the specific size of that commission in your calculations. Because commission, what is the spread on a standard account? Is the spread plus commission combined into a single spread?
It's within the spread, yes.
Yes, in an ECN account, it's spread plus commission. All you really need to do is calculate the commission in points. So if you happen to know for certain that 7/100 is the commission size, then you would simply write down 0.17.
17?
That's it. You have to factor in the commission.
I've got it now.
The second parameter,
A very slight signal impulse.
we've just entered 0.6 here. How is it calculated? It's determined and calculated based on a combination of two primary factors. The first of these is the instrument's specific volatility.
Yes, you are quite right.
We need to carefully consider how much the price moves on average during these specific impulses, focusing on very short periods like 100 or 50 milliseconds. If we observe that there are far too many signals occurring at the 0.6 level, such as, for example, seeing a brand new signal every single minute, this frequency might be too high for our current strategy.
Yes, indeed.
We constantly try to look for more advantageous, profitable situations for ourselves, so we would then enter at 0.8, for example. So it is not about quantity, such as having 20 trades every minute, but
quality signals?
Quality, yes, because when choosing between 0.6, 0.6, or 0.8, 0.8 is obviously better for us. This is because the probability that we'll enter and take our profit, which will be larger, that specific probability is actually much higher. So this parameter is calculated based on two primary factors. First, there is market volatility. Second, the spread size. For instance, if your broker offers a $1 spread on gold, then the minimum requirement is going to be at least $1. On top of that, you need to add the specific amount of profit you're hoping to make. So for a practical example, you would enter at least 20 cents extra.
All right then, we are going to continue with the settings now. And we previously stopped our discussion at the impulse even, isn't that right? Minimum signal impulse. We developed a formula together that to choose the minimum impulse we need, first the market's current volatility, or rather the instruments, plus we factor in the spread again and the commission if there is one.
Yes.
So the question is, how can an average person who's just starting out understand and assess an instrument's volatility? Right? Like with gold now, we see it's highly volatile, we can tell. So, or is there some basic rule, like if we see an instrument is shaking a lot, we always begin the process from 0.6 and increase from there?
To put it in the simplest terms, all we really need is just, if you really have absolutely no idea where to start and you want to examine the technical details of the process, then you navigate over to this section right here, go into tick recording, set it, select both of these options. Well, like
both, yeah.
Yes, and go to this section. And right here in the quote difference parameter, you can enter a value of, say, 100,000. I mean, once you enable the active trading box, the robot will identify all impulses based on your parameters and write them to the log file. So when you open the log file with the quotes, everywhere the robot detected a signal, there's a note in the record. Complex impulse, size such and such, and you open it and take a look. Say you had in an hour 50 signals. Oh, that's way too many. That's what you decided. So you go ahead and increase the parameter and then set the value to exactly 0.8. Turn it on, check it. Oh, there were 20 signals in an hour. Oh, I'm okay with that. And that's it. So you enter 8/10 accordingly. So this is a very practical method. It is not just a theory, but a tangible result that you can actually observe in practice. Because it happens that, well, it's no secret at all, the price of gold has dropped quite a bit in recent days. It dropped very sharply, just like silver.
Yes, that is right.
What was happening at that moment? More impulses, the market is stronger. You are going to receive signals at every single second, and there will be a very large number of them.
Yes, exactly.
You can go into this parameter and set it to exactly $1.5 for gold. Why would you collect everything? The noise? Because the whole market has turned into noise. And with your spread, you're fine. You can jump into every tick. But your probability of profitability drops significantly. That's a separate topic, a separate training module. We have training. We're currently putting it together, developing it, where that's explained. In other words, there are market phases and you have to take that into account. Otherwise, you look and you've had 20 signals in the past hour. Okay, everything's great. You're satisfied. You just add, say, 0.6 there. But the most important thing is not to go below 1.5 times the spread size. So if your spread is 20 cents, I wouldn't drop the impulse below 0.3. That's just, honestly, anything below 1.5 spreads can basically be called noise. I mean, there's a slight chance you'll make money, but it's very low quality, meaning it happens quite rarely and inconsistently. Because the price might pull back. And the third parameter responsible for the trading part is
complex impulses interval, milliseconds.
In milliseconds, yes. What is it? It happened. A sharp price change begins. We see that a sharp change has started, and we need to track it at intervals. Because now in the era of technology, many brokers have started making their execution 15, 20, 30 milliseconds. Accordingly, if they have such fast execution, the probability that we can profit from them is higher. But we are simply unable to set the specific impulse to 100 milliseconds because while an impulse actually occurred and there is a price gap, we only have like a very brief window of 10 milliseconds to write enter. We won't make it. We realize that we need to reduce the impulse time. We set it to, say, 30 milliseconds. In 30 milliseconds, the price took off the price gap we saw, and we still have 70 milliseconds to enter. the probability is higher that we'll get in, right? We can also filter with this parameter the number of signals. We usually try to tell everyone to set it to 50 by default.
Right.
So 50 milliseconds is a kind of standard average parameter used almost everywhere, on gold, on oil, and on various currencies. If we take, for example, the DAX 30 indices, we usually try to use 30 milliseconds because anything over 30 milliseconds is already considered to be kind of a lingering and not so good signal for your trades. So for most indices, 30 milliseconds is the limit. However, for gold and currencies, 50 milliseconds is the average value. This is the specific range of values for this parameter in which we strongly recommend trading and using it effectively. Next, let's move on to the next block of our presentation.
So then, going back to the minimum impulse, we're leaving it at 0.6 there, right?
0.6 is fine.
Fine.
Yes.
And I also wanted to ask, what if there's a high spread, for example?
Well, we discussed that earlier. If the spread is $1,
Yes.
no problem, you can trade. But which parameter do we consider that I have mentioned before? Right, a minimum of 1.5 spreads.
Yes.
Now, why is that? Well, it is because if your spread is 1 and the price slips by even 20 cents, then the probability that you will actually close in profit is extremely low. You really need this like significant potential where you can manage to enter, cover the entire spread with a profit and also close the trade.
With a financial gain.
Yes, so the 1.5 spread rule, it remains and doesn't go anywhere at all. Anything less, anything like that, yes, you can earn, but it all starts to be just noise at that point.
Okay, next, and the one on the right side also belongs to the signal settings, which is the freeze time after a signal.
Yes, these are essential protective functions specifically designed to ensure that all signals work correctly at all times. Now, what exactly is this? This is the freeze time setting. So we talked about this earlier when we were looking at the first tab, specifically the first tab located on the far left. During that time, we discussed a scenario where one of the feed streams works as a protective one, while the other functions as a fast one. And so, when the protective stream, for example, the one where the box isn't checked, triggers a specific impulse, the robot then applies the specified settings accordingly, freeze time, to not process any signals for this instrument. That is, if we always use 1000 milliseconds here. That's 1 second. That's enough time to skip all the noise and any possible false signals. So a signal occurred, we processed it. If we weren't allowed into this trade, well now, for example, if a requote happened or some other unexpected parameters occurred and the broker's server replied with an error, we don't try to force our way in again. We have completely missed that train. That's it. That train is gone. We don't go for it. We simply wait. Freeze time kicks in. We wait a second, look for new signals. And this means that new signals won't be related to the previous signals because we rejected the previous ones, no matter what the reason for that was. There, the next point.
A trade pause.
Trading pause. What we are seeing here is a brief pause between signals that have already been processed. So there was a first signal and we successfully entered a position on it. For example, the hidden strategy. The pause kicks in. We have to wait a certain amount of time between signals. So if we need, for example, at least orders to be 3 minutes apart, we set it to 180 seconds. There won't be any trades in less time than that. After 3 minutes, it will start looking for signals. Accordingly, this guarantees that we'll have the minimum pause that we need.
A pause between orders?
Yes.
But not the holding time for a specific order?
The order holding time can be even longer. So that means you have a minimum of 3 minutes.
Oh.
But there might be no signal and the order will run for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, good.
So that is the maximum delay. Maximum
delay.
And also the checkbox for simple signals only.
These are two completely different parameters. First, the maximum delay.
Yes.
Right now, due to various restrictions on the internet and in the network, there are various internet connectivity issues.
Mm-hmm.
In the City of London, there is currently a very huge problem with internet buffering. If that word is even clear, buffering is occurring. Currently, a very large number of electronic messages are accumulating rapidly, and the security or verification servers based in London sometimes simply can't keep up with the load. At these specific moments, a quote can take, or rather an order can take, not just the usual 2 milliseconds as we have it recorded in our logs, but anywhere from 50 to 100 milliseconds. And we protect ourselves from this risk by explicitly defining this configuration parameter. So if the broker's server has not provided a response within 10 milliseconds confirming that it's accepted, then we simply reject that order. This essentially acts as an artificial protection against any possible delays from the broker or the internet. This is a necessary parameter that we added because everything is changing so much now, and the internet has become completely different. Next is simple signals only.
Simple signals only. Just basic signals only.
Yes, this is a parameter that is very rarely used on its own. This occurs when the price experiences such a significant fluctuation in a single tick that we decide to enter a trade. So that is essentially it. It is a complex impulse, an analog of a complex impulse, but it implies that we only enter trades where a very sudden and sharp price change occurred in one tick. If you click this, check this box, there are only a few signals available, but at the same time, you can enter the market with a significantly higher potential for generating a profit. We were just discussing a duration of exactly 100 milliseconds. So we don't wait for 30 milliseconds to find a signal, but we enter right here and
right now in the moment.
Yes, so we potentially have 100 milliseconds. But don't forget that if we set 30 milliseconds, it doesn't mean we wait the full 30 milliseconds. If a signal appears in 5 milliseconds over 2 or 3 ticks, we still enter and we have 95 milliseconds left.
Indeed.
To put it simply, essentially, in a complex impulse, we analyze every single incoming price tick, while in a simple impulse, we specifically search for a price gap, a sharp one that suits us. So I don't recommend setting this parameter at all if you don't understand what's happening.
So for the very first chapter, where we have the signal settings, we only use quotes difference, minimal signal impulse, and complex impulse interval. So the base value is set at 50. We calculated this one using a formula based on spread volatility, and quotes difference is the same depending on the spread, and we fill it in, plus if there's a commission too.
Yes, I would set the complex impulse to 30. Probably if it's for gold, gold is incredibly volatile right now, so 30 can be used, meaning that's enough.
So it turns out we don't even need to use the right side for now.
I would set the freeze time to 1000 so that...
Freeze time?
Yes, to make a 1 second pause. This is a parameter that is not strictly critical, but I would definitely still use it.
Okay, next in the chapter we have the offset.
Yes.
The box is already checked, auto offset.
Yes.
But why and what exactly is it?
There are futures.
Correct.
There's spot.
All right.
There are ETFs and there are various financial instruments that are very similar to each other, all of which are tied to the same gold, for example. But at the same time, their market quotes often differ. So that futures can be traded?
By quotes, you mean? Well, the price and the quotes, I mean, those are different digits after the decimal point.
And even before the decimal, they can be different.
Well, yeah.
The number of gold can be different. But to enable you to trade both instruments, this is what we call price alignment.
Yep.
Back in 2014 or 2015, we had this specific technical issue where we'd connect, and both of us had the index, but the quotes were quite different. And we had to find a way to align the price somehow. We have developed this new parameter that is specifically designed to help align the quotes using a very particular and precise step. How does it work? It runs in the background. You don't need to, trading doesn't stop during this period. So in the background, the system carefully compares a price snapshot of the fast and slow ones across a specific price range. Of the fast and slow ones, it gathers a total of 50 individual ticks at a set interval, calculates the average price, checks the deviation, and subsequently adjusts the final price for the broker based on that. Basically, it just factors that number into the calculations.
I see. By default, it's set to 30 seconds.
Yes.
Every half minute.
Personally, I would definitely recommend setting it to 300 seconds.
300 even?
Nowadays, yes. Before, we were worried it would change too much. But when you're trading futures, the price doesn't change. In fact, it might not change at all for an hour after the first recalculation.
Right. So here in offset, it's just auto offset, and that's it, right?
Yes.
Moving on to our next parameter, which is order management. And the first specific setting we will look at is take profit.
Yes.
How do we go about setting the take profit? How do we calculate it? To how many decimals? And how should we write it? 0.1 or 0.01?
Actually, all numerical values, all specific differences and impulses are consistently written in absolute values.
Right?
So say your gold is 5,100.50. As soon as we enter it, our spread is exactly 0.0035. So we calculated it together as 0.6. And that's how we write it, 0.6. Take currencies, for example. Currencies often have a spread of, say, 0.0000, and then a 7 at the very end. We perform our calculations using the 1.5 principle as we discussed. For example, we got 12 hundredths. The way we would write this is 0.000012.
Got it. So in absolute value.
And accordingly, we write it here in absolute value as well. So now we have the take profit. What specific take profit level do we recommend setting?
Yes, that's right.
This is very important. People write to us. This is a key point. Listen closely, because most people make a common mistake right here. For some reason, everyone thinks that if you set it to $1, the profit will be higher. That's not true. Physically, it's just not the case. We always highly recommend specifying the minimum value, well, while carefully taking the spread into account. Oh, wait, not the spread. Sorry about that. I meant taking the commission into account. If there is a commission of, let's say, 7 cents, then you would enter 0.07 right there. If there is no commission, we will then specify a value of 100th. That's it. The minimum possible profit. Why? A signal occurs. It opens us up. The trade opened up perfectly, representing a clear signal at exactly $1.50. When a profitable zone is finally detected, we will close the position in profit, but not at just 1 cent. We could potentially close the trade out at $1.2.
Yes, indeed.
Minus the spread. And we take all of that. The robot will just send a request, and potentially everything that follows the impulse we'll still take for ourselves. But if at the point of entry the price, let's imagine for a moment that our spread is 35 cents, but it experienced significant slippage of a full dollar, we only have 15 cents left. There is absolutely no guarantee the broker will repeat it, and the price will likely move those 15 cents more. Consequently, we eliminate the chance of extra losses by closing the trade with the minimum possible profit to protect our capital. God willing, a cent dropped, we entered, that's it, we're out. Why? The price could drop after that and we'd lose that same dollar. Why would we need that?
Of course.
But we are potentially always in the black. This is an important point because it effectively allows working with potential slippage. And that needs to be taken into account. So when people say, I will set it to 50 cents now and my profit will go up, go ahead and set it, there is no problem. But the main difference is that over a longer period of time, we will consistently earn more. If the price freezes online, or the quotes stop, or the order request lags, we still manage to close in profit. It might be a minimal one, whereas you will likely get one loss, and maybe over time you will get more wins, but your total yield will be lower specifically due to the increase in potential risks. I suggest we move on through the parameters.
All right. The base take profit, if it's for gold, we'll leave it considering our spread.
1 cent.
Very well.
0.01%.
0.01. That is the value we will enter.
Yes.
Stop loss.
The stop loss is always based on the specific potential price movements of the financial instrument you are trading. But what exactly does that mean for you? We've entered a trade. The price has slipped. There's a high probability that the price will continue further. But after every initial impulse, the price pulls back a little bit. How do we configure the parameters so that we set the stop loss just like this, but you could still withstand the market pullback? So we set through the first minimal pullback, then the price moved further and we closed in profit. Typically, the stop loss level for this strategy is determined by factoring in a margin based on roughly 2 to 3 standard spreads. So to give you an example, just so that you understand, for US 30 with a spread, the spread has gone up quite a bit right now. It used to be, let's say, only $2, but we have always set it at $5 spread. I mean, 5 spreads of $5 stop loss, yeah, which equals 2.5 spreads. For gold, even if your gold spread is 20 cents, I'd set it at 0.6 dollars.
No?
So these are the fundamental baseline requirements, like having a minimum of 3 spreads, for instance. This isn't necessarily about the idea that you will definitely experience a financial loss. It is more so that if your trade happens to slip, it wouldn't close out immediately on the very first pullback. Because past experience shows that if it slips down and the price pulls back a bit, it will likely continue again later on. You just need to wait out that moment. That is why we give it some extra room and set our stop loss right there. Because if the market price reverses, we have effectively capped the loss at that amount.
I see what you mean. Yeah, that makes sense. So for the stop loss, we just enter 3 spreads in simple terms if we're talking about gold.
Yes. Well, like we discussed, let's take, for example, just put $1. We talked about a 35-cent spread, so just enter $1.
So is it 0.1?
No, $1.
Like an actual whole number 1?
Yes, of course. Let us move ahead.
Okay, the maximum amount of time for an open order in seconds.
So this specific parameter is responsible for managing the status of an order that's been opened by a signal, but has not yet been fully closed.
Yes.
This means that we've either successfully opened a lock or opened a classic impulse trade, and it's just hanging there, hitting neither take profit nor stop loss.
Yes, that is quite correct.
There are specific instances where the price just comes to a standstill. The impulse happened. We had some slippage and we're not closing at the stop loss or the take profit. At that point, we're just stuck in a waiting state. There's no point in waiting any longer. We wait, for example. I always set it to 60 seconds.
Indeed.
So if within a full minute we haven't closed in profit or loss, we will simply close it as is.
At the market price, more or less, as it stands?
Yeah, what's the point of waiting? It's all just complete guesswork at that stage, really.
All right.
That's all this parameter does.
Okay. Break-even points. There's a checkbox here.
Simply enable the break-even feature now. So if you really want to do this, as we mentioned before in one of the strategies we discussed, right? When you are looking to hold a trade for a longer period, you can always use the break-even setting. So in a case like that, you would need to manually set your take profit level from 0.01 up to, for example, $5.
Yes, I see.
And as for the break-even, you configure the settings, enable it, and then define the parameters for when it's supposed to be activated. For example, the price has moved 30 cents plus.
Yes, that is right.
And at 30 cents, we set it, and we set it in the lower parameter. And there is a specific place located right there.
Yes, break-even place.
Where we set it. And there we enter in the value, for example, 0.1. And when we go to set it, for instance, the value of 0.3. And this means that upon reaching a profit of 30 cents, we will set a stop loss at 10 cents.
Yeah, well, that's right.
This is a guaranteed profit that we will, in any case,
take.
Yes, take it. This is done for retention. This is described separately, a separate strategy. We can talk about this separately. However, this is not falling under the specific coverage of the current video.
That sounds really good. Right, I see. Break even is clear, and we've covered the take profit and stop loss. The maximum order life, if it doesn't close by stop or take, we've also covered. Essentially, 60 seconds or 1 minute is plenty of time. The break-even point is quite clear. After how much time and by how much?
Yes, that is indeed completely correct.
Right, I see. So next is time-based planning, and that means the time is coming.
Trade scheduler.
Trade scheduler, yes.
We are strong proponents that all financial trading activities must be kept under strict control at all times.
Exactly, that is right.
We believe that the operation of our robot is fundamentally semi-automatic. That is, if we take a look at the New Hope Crypto robot, there are no questions there at all. It's enough to check that the robot traded at least once a day, that the robot is working, the server is up, nothing has closed or suddenly frozen. That is the only specific thing you need to check. Here, this is the scheduler. For example, imagine you want to go to sleep, but you know that at 11 p.m. you need to stop all trading. Accordingly, you can simply enter that information directly into the system, specifying the exact time according to the VPS server time where you are currently trading. That is, it looks at your local time in the bottom right corner of the panel. Well, I'm speaking figuratively, but it requests it, so you've set what happens at that moment. If trading is not active during this period, the robot does not trade. If trading was active, you had a lock open via hidden, for example, or smart hidden, and the time has already come when trading is not allowed.
Yeah,
It automatically switches to closing mode. That is, it closes orders based on the closing principle as if by signal, and that's it, it trades no more.
I completely understand now.
Well, that's probably all for now. Looking ahead into the future, once we have more available time on our hands, we fully plan to add a completely separate and dedicated line for comprehensive news integration,
Uh-huh.
where we can choose and check a box to not trade, for example, during those news events. And it will skip these news items from the list before and after. This parameter is important, but since we believe people should always monitor the robot, it's not that critical, and we plan to add it later.
I agree. So, moving on, everything's clear with the timing, no questions at all, it's simple. Let's move on to risks. Risk,
Yes.
fixed trading lot. So, well, everything's basically clear here too, right?
Yes.
The most crucial step you need to take is to set the minimum available lot size, because these requirements are quite different for all the various trading instruments. That is exactly right. And as for how to do this correctly, let's take a look inside the terminal right now. Ivan is going to show us exactly how to check both the maximum and the minimum available lot sizes.
We enter it right here. If, for example, you find that 0.01 is unavailable here, simply delete it and manually write 0.1 instead. If these buttons light up here, clearly indicating that you can trade with such a lot size, then it is considered a valid lot. How else can you check this? You can right-click right here and then select the specification option from the menu. And here in the specification at the bottom, I'm not sure right now, in MetaTrader 4 and 5, anyway,
There it is.
yes, there is a parameter, the minimum value and the price step. Oh, the price step, the step
Volume step, yeah?
regarding the lot size settings. You can check the details right here in this section. That's it. You simply input that parameter right there. Now let's talk about the auto lot feature in more detail. Yes, right here, it's all the same in MetaTrader 5 too.
Okay, next up is auto lot. There is a small checkbox to select.
So if the checkbox unchecked, we trade a fixed lot, checked, it's auto lot.
All right, the auto lot feature. If it's auto lot, what initial value should we configure? So we can also set it to 0.01.
Auto lot functions according to a specific formula. Ship. It is calculated by taking your total trading volume and multiplying it by the available trading balance.
Yes, that is exactly right.
So if we have, say, exactly $5,000 in the account, and we calculate that for every $100, we open a position of 0.01 lots.
Yes, that is absolutely correct, right?
After you have done that, the next thing you need to do is enter the value of 0.01 into the specific box where you see the trading size listed.
Auto lot size.
Yes, a value of 0.01 is the smallest possible price increment step in auto lot. And as for the next setting in the sequence,
The automatic lot deposit size.
100 meaning for every $100 of profit or losses, it will increase the step by 0.01
Yes, you said losses.
or even losses.
Does that mean it counts losses as well?
Yes, of course.
So even if it lost 100, it will still increase?
No, if you were to experience a loss, then you would have $4,900. And it will calculate that there are 49 pieces of 100 and multiply them by 0.01.
And it will still calculate based on that. I see.
Yes, so this is a great parameter.
Yes, indeed.
Why? Because first of all, you won't lose all your money instantly if a plugin is suddenly activated or even during major news events. Yes, because it will reduce it proportionally, so you won't end up dumping everything.
Mhm.
And as your balance continues to grow, it will be directly proportional. It will start to skyrocket in a geometric progression.
Well, again, there are certain nuances.
Yes,
There are brokers where there is a maximum allowable trading lot. If you set it to 3, 4, or 5, they'll already apply a plugin. But if you trade up to 5, it's fine.
yes, that's correct. We talk about this separately in the training. Besides that, there are also these smart plugins with artificial slippage. And if you trade above a certain lot size, artificial slippage kicks in on both opening and closing. We're going to cover this in great detail during the training. It would take too long here.
I see. No, absolutely. Just as a fact for people to understand.
Yes,
Okay, that's fixed and it's very clear.
yes,
So we didn't turn it on. If we choose not to enable this, and we are currently setting up our gold settings right now, then we can simply enter 0.01,
yes, that is correct.
just to have it.
To start with, yes, we enter the minimum, watch the dynamics, and if we see 10 trades closed in profit, that's it. We can increase the lot size. How much can you increase the lot size? Now, this is a very important point to remember. You should never increase your lot size to the maximum possible level. I mean, if you have exactly $100 and choose to open one lot with 500 leverage, you could easily lose your entire deposit in just 2 trades, or you could potentially double it.
Yes, well, that makes sense.
That's an extreme risk because no matter how profitable a strategy is, it will have its downsides, every single one. Ours too. The broker's server might freeze. You might experience slippage, or it might take 5 seconds to open your trade. These things happen. And what do you do with that trade? It's stuck in limbo, the price has moved on, the signals have already played out. You could take a loss right there. So you always need to consider these factors and plan so that if you have potential losses, you still have enough deposit to keep working and recover everything.
Okay, I understand completely. We've successfully organized all of the lots. We have some trailing behind the others.
Yes, there's a trailing stop. Everything here is standard. It is really only used when you are holding trades for a long time. So these parameters aren't actually used in 95% of cases. Maybe even 99% of the time. It is only used when you are holding a very long-term trade, perhaps holding it for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or even 10 or 20 minutes, however long. You set it to the break-even point. Trailing kicks in after a short period of time and it gradually pulls the trade along.
So before trailing, we definitely use break-even, right?
Not necessarily, but I would recommend doing it because a trailing stop can be turned on much later, once you are safely in the profit zone. And with break-even, you can limit your potential losses so that there aren't any unnecessary risks. And that's it, and work with that.
Okay.
It is utilized quite infrequently, but when it is, people understand what they are doing. The parameters are straightforward: when to activate the system and after how many points that activation should occur.
Well, that's the first one, trailing stop start, right? After how many points we turn it on.
Then what the price trailing step is for each, and at what distance we keep it from the current price when trailing. That's it.
That is it. Well, it is quite clear. And with the checkbox accordingly, if we click it, it activates immediately.
Yes, then it will be active.
Okay, moving right along, next we have the section for other settings. Here we can see the maximum allowable spread.